So much crazy here today. So much crazy. We're going to talk about two new pieces of electronic equipment that I've now added onto the Ryft buggy. My brain is completely exploded by what these things can do, and we're going to dive into it right now. First off, I want to send a big thank you out to VS Customs, who made me these GCM Axle Stands. VS Customs, link in the description box for this video. You will find these things extremely handy. They are 100% plastic. They are 100% awesome, and I happen to need them right now because to show you what I'm putting for electronics in this, I actually have to have the wheels off the ground. And this is a gigantic buggy. Gigantic. So, I need some good size axle stands. These will fit all of your 4.75 tire trucks, of course, because these are almost 6-inch tires and they're totally fine. Perfect for you. Anyways, electronics. By the way, thank you, Tim. Now, electronics, we're going to switch to the top view so you can look down on this and see what's going on. I'm going to try to describe the stuff that I've installed here, and we're going to test it all out so you can see what it's about, and let's go to there now. So, what I think is going to be important to find out, first of all, is how this is laid out. So, battery, we already know, goes in this slot. You saw that from the other video. I have a little black box on this side, right here now. This little black box I have to attach someplace, and this is the brains for this extremely awesome screen that was designed and programmed and implemented by Scale Built. Link in the description box. Absolutely do not forget to go over here and check out everything that Scale Built is doing. You'll find them on the Instagram with some really cool pictures and videos of all this stuff. We're going to fire this up today and see what that's about. And because one thing from Scale Built is never enough, I need to say that again. Because one thing from Scale Built is never enough, I have two. The second thing is the now world famous Rollo Meter. This is also a dash cluster instrument, and this little thing right here is going to tell me, with the help of this giant box, it's going to tell me whether my truck is tilting or panning out of flat. And I actually have a indicator light here that I just stuck here so we can watch it. This is the coolest thing I might have seen all day. Now, what I'm going to do is prop this up like this so you guys can see that in the top camera. Just kind of stick it there like that. I want you to see that. I'm going to zoom in on that from this top camera here, which is the right button here. I'm not really sure. There we go. That looks almost amazing. Okay. Now, I think, there we go. Let's get some good focus on that. Now, I'm going to power this up by simply connecting my other lead here, which I have waiting and ready. And the Acme Rollo Meter is live. Oh my goodness, this is the coolest thing I have seen all day. I'm going to put this just out of frame here because this light right here is really bright. Currently it's green, and green is good. That means I don't have this mounted yet, so this is still kind of all tippy and weird, so just bear with me. But what you're seeing here on the screen is the actual pitch of the vehicle compared to flat land. So right now the front to back look is like this, which means it's pitching left. The other little picture you see right here is whether you're on flat ground or climbing up a hill or going down a hill. So this is a Rollo Meter, and what I'm going to do is take out this tiny little black box here so that I can tip it around. And I want you guys to see this. This is the coolest thing I've seen all day. So on this screen, if I tilt this box to this side, whoa, you can see we got a yellow light there. So I'm tilting left. I'm tilting left, and at about, I think I've got 15, 20, 22, 23, 24 degrees I got a yellow light. If I keep tipping sideways even farther, I get a blinking light rollover alert. So that is just crazy. And then of course if I have my, look at the other little one on the right hand, whoops, that was too much. So there's kind of flat. Let me see if I can get this leveled out here pretty well. So there, the truck is basically flat in the Rollo Meter here. And if I pitch it up, you can see that I've got an orange light now at 30 degrees. I'm climbing a hill, I'm climbing. Rollover alert. Okay, so, and then you get a flashing red light and the whole bit. So basically what this means is on my dash on this truck, I can actually see the pan and the tilt of this vehicle, and that is so cool. And when you see the rest of my electronics, you'll know why that's so incredibly cool. It's just blowing my mind. Now what we're going to do is fire up the other piece of electronics. I'm going to move this over here so I can get a hold of this thing. Oh my goodness, this is the coolest thing I've seen all day. Okay. Are you even ready for this? This is so cool. Okay, I'm going to power this thing on here with my on button. Right here. Oh my goodness, look at this thing. Oh yeah. Now that is the coolest piece of dashboard I have ever seen right there. That is totally amazing. Now this is actually the RPM gauge. It's directly connected to my throttle lead. And more importantly than that, I'm using the Hobbywing FOC Axe system. So with the governor control that's on there, if I say I want half throttle, the motor gives me half throttle. There is there's no two ways about it. It gives you your throttle position. So whatever this says is whatever my wheels are going to do. Now we're going to pull the throttle here. And you can see on the inset video that it's turning. I've got more and more and more. We'll just slowly go higher and higher. So whatever throttle position I get, a little more, a little less, a little more. So this thing is a gauge. So that is my tach. It is also actually my speedo because of the FOC system. So whatever I put for my throttle is whatever I'm going to get on my wheel speed. Therefore that is now speedo and tach at the same time. Pretty sweet because it goes to a scale 50 miles an hour right now. I mean, whatever I push, I get. And I have the throttle turned down to 50% on the ESC, so that's why it does that. On my ESC programming, it's turned down. Now, there's adjustments to all of this stuff, which is super cool. Let me power this off for a second. And this is the coolest thing that I have seen all day. Absolutely can't even believe it. So, this box, this little box right here, that runs my dashboard speedometer thing, there's a couple of pot switches on it right here on this control box. This is where all the programming and magic happens. The other thing is just a screen. So on this little dip switches here, you can actually select a throttle curve kind of thing. So what that means is, let's just say that when I say half throttle on my throttle, it's actually only showing like 40% or something. I can adjust some dip switches around according to the instructions, and then make the gauge match my actual throttle finger, right? So right now my full throttle is showing 50%. I can adjust those so that my full throttle is showing 100%. So I'm going to do that. So I can match up the gauge. It's tunable. This thing, which is the Rollo Meter block, this block right here, has also an adjustable meter on it, and that allows you to set where your rollover position is. So you know, you can actually test the truck out for real and find out how crazy do I have to drive before I actually get to my tip over position. And wherever that is, you can tune the knob so that your pen and tilt is actually coming on with the warning lights at the correct time. And that's really important, because the last thing that I'm going to install on this is a full FPV system in the back. And now the full reveal is out why I've been doing all this. I am building a brand new FPV truck out of this incredibly monstrous buggy, and it's going to be amazing. And from the screen or the goggles, you will be able to see your own dashboard while you drive, and you'll be able to see your actual speed and throttle. You'll be able to see the actual pan and tilt of the vehicle while you're driving FPV, which means that even if the terrain looks flat and your horizon is moving all over the place in the FPV, you won't know that you're not on flat ground unless you look at the gauge. Kind of like flying an airplane in a fog. Basically, I'm building a new FPV truck out of this, and now that you know what all this is actually about, it's going to look amazing. And I'm super stoked to actually finally have all my scale built stuff in. Next project is going to be to get the rest of the interior designed. I will be doing a complete dashboard design. I will also have a complete full seat. I saw a couple of comments on my Instagram feed the other day about the driver. I was thinking of using the driver that I have here in the scale garage, but he's a little bit small, so I'd be looking for a bigger guy, probably with less muscles, because FPV. So that's the story on the electronics. I do have it running, as you can see. This is probably the funnest build I've done in a long time, and I can finally tell you that it's going to be an FPV truck. So not only, that's also why I had to slow it down a lot. Maybe now you understand why the whole thing was directed towards making this a slower truck. That's why. Super fast and FPV does not go together unless you're in the air. And so on land, we are going to have a huge amount of fun with this. Thank you to Scale Built for having put together these very specific things that I asked him to make for me. And I am very glad, very, very glad to have them. Stay tuned on the next one for a dashboard update. We will be glad to show it off to you. And of course, all of these parts will be included in the 3D print file set that comes out to our Patreon group when they are available. And thank you so much to all the patrons who have given me tons of incredible comments about 3D printing stuff that we're putting on there and all kinds of crazy uses for these things. I really like the feedback, so I appreciate you guys very much, and we will catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.